Infinity and new game. And to be quite honest, it's going the other way. It is slowly and painfully dying. But one thing that really got me into the game when it first came out were these figures. They're really awesome. A lot of them have quite a bit of detail to them, which is actually kind of surprising, and they're just a lot of fun characters. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go through my collection and tell you my 10 favorite. I'm just looking at the figures themselves. I may reference the gameplay, but I'm not basing my choices on the gameplay, just looking straight at the figures, which ones are my favorite, which ones maybe I would just get for the figure, but I guess you'll have to wait and see. So here are my top 10 favorite Disney Infinity figures in my collection. Alright, starting off in number 10, we have Black Panther. This is a guy that actually, if you look really closely, try not to hit the camera here, if you look closely, he actually has quite a bit of detail to him. Just these subtle little lines just makes him all that more accurate. Just kind of, I appreciate the teensy little bit of extra work. It's not a whole lot of extra work, I guess, that went into it, but just that little bit that kind of takes him over the top, adds that little bit of extra special bit to him I like. For me, kind of all the little bits of gray are overall proportioned quite nicely to the mostly black body, just like the necklace, the little bits around the mask, the eyes, around the wrist, the knees, just all those little bits just kind of fit perfectly in with the character. Also, just this guy, when it comes to the actual figure, the pose, I actually quite like it. It's kind of like he's ready to pounce on his enemy. He's ready to go, not willing to back down. Kind of just shows has a bit of strength to it, which is quite nice. But overall, solid figure. He's one that originally I thought would actually be higher on my list, but some characters that actually surprised me when I actually sat down and thought about it. There's actually some characters I like a little bit more. Overall, though, not a bad figure at all. Taking the number 10 spot, we have Black Panther. In 9th, we have the Green Goblin. Now, overall, the big Disney Infinity figures I actually like quite a lot. Characters like Venom and Hulk and, of course, Green Goblin. They're actually a group of guys that, I don't know, I just kind of like the extra weight to the characters. Makes it feel like there's a bit more put into them. But overall, as far as design goes, the armor I like, and the face is actually pretty good. Try and get up close here without hitting the camera. There's his face, his lovely, lovely face. Overall, like, this version of the Green Goblin is not my favorite, but this figure I actually quite like. I like the fact that he's holding the bomb there. He actually uses those quite a lot in game. But overall, when it actually goes to like the design, at least the versions that I've seen in like TV and that, it's pretty accurate. I mean, not a whole lot of detail, but I mean, it's not like he's lacking anything. Or just because he's missing that extra bit of detail he's not lacking anything, which is quite nice. Just overall, again, like I was kind of saying, like from the TV version, he looks fairly accurate. It looks a lot like it, so I can't say he's really missing anything, or I feel like there's anything that I would want on this character. But yeah, just one. Again, another character, kind of surprised that he actually got to the top 10, but yeah, design-wise, the color combination, I do quite like. Actually, this green for his skin and that, it's actually a color I quite like. I think it is actually unique to the character. Actually, no, I may be taking that back. I think actually also Yoda and Hulk kind of have something similar to it, but this green with the gray and the blue and the yellow and the tiny bit of yellow there, I just think goes really well together. Again, another solid character. Taking the number 9 spot is Green Goblin. Moving on to number 8, we have Kylo Ren. This is a guy, when it actually comes to color, doesn't actually have much. It's just black, teensy bit of silver, and then of course the lightsaber here. But overall, I mean, just the fact that he's missing the color doesn't really faze me on him. I mean, of course, he didn't have that in the movie or that, but just the overall dark design of this kind of makes him feel like a menacing character, and he would be quite threatening, which is, I mean, that's the feel that you want out of Kylo Ren. I really like how the robes are positioned in the back, kind of like he's standing in the wind, or at least he's in motion. The torn cloth, why do I keep tilting it that way? The torn cloth in the back is a nice detail. The face, pretty simple. Overall, like, there's no, like, again, another character with not a whole lot of detail, but Again, it's not like we're lacking anything. Probably the most detail comes in the lightsaber, but also I guess another added bonus for this version of the figure. This is the version with the light up lightsaber, so that adds an extra bit of coolness, I guess, to the character. But again, another character, he's one that I quite like. Yeah, just I kind of like for that darker character. Like it's a game where it's kind of like you want to have a threatening character. And he's probably one of the most threatening in the game. Just overall, cool character. Number 8 is Kylo Ren. In number 7, we have the Lone Ranger, actually one of the original characters. He came in the first wave of Disney Infinity. Overall, I'd say he's actually one of my favorite characters in the game, especially out of that first wave, before we got the superheroes, the Star Wars, and all that stuff. This guy was my go-to guy. He was just my favorite all around. When it comes to design, these early guys don't have particularly a lot of particular design, and that it's just fairly basic. But I kind of appreciate that for this character. He's got a confident look on his face, and it captured the design of the Lone Ranger, at least the new Disney version, not the original Lone Ranger, of course. But just in general, I like the badge, just the design. He's one that it could be again another threatening character. I like to have a character that could be possibly a great warrior or something like that. Just kind of some guy who could run into action and just kind of knows what he's, or it kind of looks like he knows what he's doing in that. And yeah, it's just one, like I said, he's one of the first guys that I actually really wanted out of all the characters. And I think he's one of only, I think he's only I think there's maybe one other of the original. I gotta remember what my list is again. But I think he's one of only 1 or 2 of the original wave that's on this list. Again, nothing too spectacular about the figure, but it's a simple design, feels complete, and he's just one of my favorite characters in the game. Taking the 6th spot, pardon me, not 6, 7, I'm already messing up. Taking the 7th spot is the Lone Ranger. In the actual 6th spot, we have Hawkeye. This is a guy, honestly, he's one that the main reason he's here is his pose. I absolutely love the pose of this figure. It's like in battle, just reaching back for the arrow. He just looks really, really cool in this pose. For me, color-wise, I actually do really like this shade of purple. It's kind of a duller shade of purple, but it actually fits in really well. There are a couple other characters that have purple in them, like Holly Shiftwell and oh shoot, oh dang, I'm gonna remember. I forget his name. There's another guy from Monster Incorporated. I forget his name right now, but they too have purple in them, though they're mostly purple in the characters. And this one, it fits in nice. Overall with Hawkeye, I do like the versions with the purple suit. This one I just feel has a solid mix of the two. Not like it doesn't pop out in any way, but it just isn't hidden. It just has that nice hint of purple, which is really, really nice. Again, the bow is cool, the quiver, of course, it's cool, glasses, and that, just overall, this is one character that, at first, he wasn't one that I really wanted to get, but when I saw him, it's like, you know what, I am gonna get this guy. He wasn't one that, it was just kind of a impulse buy, I guess, but just overall really cool character. One of actually the first superheroes that I got out of for Disney Infinity. But taking the 5th, oh gosh, I'm off my numbers, 6th, I'm gonna get it next time. Taking the number 6 spot is Hawkeye. In 5th, we have Poe Dameron. This is a guy, when it came to the actual movie, he's not one of my favorite characters in the movie, and honestly, I never really planned to get the Poe Dameron figure. However, once I actually saw him, the complete reason, or the full reason why I bought Poe Dameron for the game was the figure. I don't know, the only pictures I ever saw of the character were digital pictures online. They were slightly animated, I guess, but actually seeing the figure in person actually really surprised me how much I liked it, and I got him right away. I've always been a fan of the Rebel suits, which, I don't know, just the nice mix of orange in that is really liked. His pose, the blaster up there, my framing's not the greatest, but with the blaster up there, looks cool. The helmet is nice. It's kind of got a bit of a slightly, I guess, translucent plastic there on the visor, which is nice. Just all the little bits of gear there. We got the Rebel signal on the chest there. But yeah, the main reason this guy's here is just because he's one that I completely bought him for the figure. In game, he's alright. He's just a simple character. He does not too much to him in the actual game. But yeah, just bought him completely for the figure. It's one of my favorites. And taking the number 5 spot is Poe Dameron. I'm kind of cheating on this one, doing 3 and 4 at once. In 3rd and 4th, we have Dory and Nemo. These were two, honestly, I couldn't break them up. Like, and I still even can't really decide who's 3rd and who's 4th. So, I'm just cheating, and I'm going to put them as both. Maybe I'll decide by the time I'm done talking here, I don't know, but these are two characters that, for their figures, I really like. I love the splashes of color. They really pop in my mind. Like Nemo, the shade of orange. We've had other figures, with orange before, like Sinestro's hair. I mean, Poe Dameron just went by, and, he has the orange suit, but this shade of orange, to me, just really pops. Both these guys, actually, the bases in that, kind of the sea, I guess the coral reef, bases in that I actually really like. I like a lot of sea-themed stuff, and also with Dory again, the blue. It's a nice shade of blue. The characters in the movies and that, they're not super complex, and it just seems like they were simple enough where they could actually get all of the design on these figures, which was really, really nice. Just both these are two that actually, again, I would just buy for the figures. Like these, you could just stick them on a shelf and they would look really nice, which is something that, for me, just really shows that it's a good quality figure. Again, not like super detailed or anything, but the detail that they have completes the character, looks like what they do in the film, which is really, really awesome. Even got a little splash of purple there with the eyes, and I mean, bases, of course, have lots of purple, but yeah, just two characters. At first, I honestly didn't expect to have these guys on the list. I actually forgot I had these two, but then when I went digging through my cupboard, I'm like, you know what, these guys actually, there were some of the first two I noticed just because they popped out so much. But yeah, taking the 3rd and 4th spot, Nemo and Dory. I don't know who's what. You decide. I don't know. Who do you like more? Let me know in the comments. I can't decide, but so 3rd and 4th, we have Dory and Nemo. Number 2 actually really shocked me that this guy was number 2. Taking the number 2 spot is Lightning McQueen. That was a horrible slide in. Taking his Lightning McQueen. Reason why I'm so shocked, this guy is actually one of my least favorite characters in the game. The Cars figures, I mean, it's kind of cool to drive around, but they can't do much other than that, which is really disappointing. In-game, like, I'm not basing, of course, I mentioned before, I'm not basing my decisions on their playability in the game, which is why, like, if that was a factor, he would not be on this list at all. I'm not a big fan of him in-game, but when it actually comes to his figure, his design is actually quite awesome. Honestly, some of the best designing, or some of the best designs out of all of these figures. The designs, they're all sharp, they're crisp. Some of the figures, you see them, any detail they have, it's kind of fuzzy. It's not like super sharp or anything. Like, you can read that right there, Hudson Hornet. It does say Hudson. For a second I thought this S was an I. Anyway, it says Hudson Hornet right there, clear as day. Just overall a really nice design. Even like the light year on the tires, it's all sharp. It's a nice, he pops. Again, another character. We have a couple other red characters, but this is one he's another character that just kind of pops out of there. And I'm honestly, again, surprised that he made it on here. This is not one of the first guys that I thought of. Like, some of these other guys, I already kind of knew they were going to be on the list, because they were some of the first guys that came to mind, but Lightning McQueen did not come to mind at all. He's not a character I'm a huge fan of in the game, but this is one kind of for just like if I was a big Cars fan in that, this is one I would definitely want to get just to have in that. And overall, like, I'm not complaining that I have the guy. Figure-wise, he's really cool. Don't use him too much in the game, but again, this is a character that actually surprised me. Got to number 2 just because his figure is so good. In the game, again, not so much, but figure, I really, really appreciate. The detail is really, really awesome. Like, even you can kind of see, if you can read that, if it'll focus here. There you go. It says Lightning McQueen on the top there. Just that extra little bit of detail is really awesome. But yeah, so there you go. Lightning McQueen takes the 2nd spot. I'm honestly surprised. But only one guy beat him out, one of my favorites, but we'll get to him in a second. Taking the 2nd spot is Lightning McQueen. Alrighty, we've reached the end of the list. The number 1 spot this is one that, honestly, there was no doubt in my mind. This guy was going to be #1, no matter what. He's one of my favorite characters in the game. He's kind of, at least out of when I've played a lot lately, he has just been my go-to guy. He's one of my favorites, one of my favorite characters in the game. Slow dramatic reveal from above. Taking the #1 spot is Boba Fett. I mean, just overall, this guy is awesome. I mean, the character, I mean, these days, who doesn't like Boba Fett? He's one of the most recognizable characters in Star Wars. And then just this figure overall is just really cool. I love the blaster. I just think even just his pose with the blaster is awesome. I mean, that's one thing, just the pose. Just want to get over that. It's a really awesome action pose with the cape going off here, kind of like there's a bit of a breeze in there. Just makes him look really awesome, like a really cool action shot. He's got the jetpack on the back here. Yeah, the blaster, the helmet, captured very nicely. He's got his, oh, I want to say Mandalorian. Oh, I'm going to kick myself that I can't name this, but he's got his logo here. I'm going to kick myself. I want to say Mandalorian. If not, Death Watch, I think is actually it. I'm not sure. I'm going to kick myself when I figure out what this is. At the moment, I'm blanking, though. But back to the figure. Color-wise, color combination I actually quite like. He has some of the pops with the oranges, but the kind of the gray and the green go well together. Got some bits of brown in there with the gloves and the boots. And just like I said, overall, this is one of my favorite characters in the game. And yeah, no doubt in my mind that this guy was gonna be #1. He is just absolutely awesome. He is super cool. And yeah, so there you go. Taking the #1 spot, at least in my mind, no doubt, is Boba Fett. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you liked that video, why don't you go ahead and hit that like button below. And if you really like this video, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We got more videos like this planned to come out in the near future. And let me know what you think of the list. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say, who your favorites are, who you thought stupid, maybe my list is completely wrong. I'm sure there's somebody out there who thinks that, so why don't you let me know in the comments below. And last but not least, you can check us out on Facebook at Mr. Smiley Co. There'll be a link somewhere. Probably there'll be some buttons coming up soon. Why don't you go click on those too? I'm sure there's a link. There's a few links there. I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's for future me to decide. Right now, I'm just trying to finish a video before my camera dies. So I'm gonna say thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.